Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, I'm going to talk about the confidence interval for the difference of two population means. So here we have extended our case to include more than one population. And when you talk about difference, you are actually talking about having one value subtracted from another. So this is the difference in two population means. So mu1 minus mu2. So let's say your data comes from two normal populations. The mean are given as mu1 and mu2. So those two are different means from different population. And the population variances are given by this over here, which are assumed to be known. Okay, so the values are known, and therefore because of that, this is the formula that you can use in order to construct the confidence interval for the difference in the population means. Now, since you are interested to find the values, the interval estimation for mu1 minus mu2, therefore on this part here, it has to be the sample mean for 1 minus the sample mean for population 2. So similarly, this is also the same thing, x bar 1 minus x bar 2. So the notation here follows the idea given here. So if you're interested to find mu1 minus mu2, just make sure that the formula given here is also in this order, x bar 1 minus x bar 2. Now, let's say you are interested to change, instead of having mu1 minus mu2, you might want to find the interval estimation for mu2 minus mu1. So when you want to do this, just make sure that you change this part to x bar 2 minus x bar 1. And similarly for this one is x bar 2 minus x bar 1. Alright, so this is something that you have to pay attention to whenever you construct the formula for the confidence interval. Right, the rest of the symbols here are actually familiar to you guys already, I'm sure of that. So now let us try to perhaps write the formula in a compact form. So it is going to look like this, x bar 1 minus x bar 2 plus minus, so this one comes from the standard normal distribution table, and here we have sigma 1 squared, which is the variance over the sample size. This is also the variance for the second population over its corresponding sample size. So this is the formula written in a compact form. Right, let us look at the example. So a survey found that the average hotel room rate in Tanjung Malim is 80 ringgit. So we talk about average, which is mean, and the average hotel room rate in Tapa is 100 ringgit. And the next sentence say that this data here, the above data here, were obtained from two samples. So which means that this one refers to the sample mean, because this result is calculated from the sample. So this is x bar. It is not mu, it is x bar, okay? And similarly for this one is also the value of x bar. Now we are just going to be more explicit and label it properly. This is the x bar for Tanjung Malim, so I'm going to write TM. And this is the x bar for Tapa, so I'm going to write down TA. Okay. So next, the two samples from 50 hotels in Tanjung Malim and Tapa. So therefore, we know that based on this value, we know that this is the same sample size for Tanjung Malim, and this is also the same sample size for Tapa. So the sample size is equal, which is going to be equal to 50. Now, the population standard deviation were known to be 10 ringgit and 7 ringgit respectively. So when you see the word respectively, it basically means that the values here are following the order given by the previous sentence. So the previous sentence talks about Tanjung Malim first and then Tapa. So therefore, this must be the value for standard deviation of Tanjung Malim. Okay, because they talk about Tanjung Malim first, and then 7 ringgit here is the population standard deviation for Tapa. Now, assuming that data are normally distributed, construct a 95% confidence interval of the true difference in mean. So you're going to find something, some value, subtract with another value. And here is 95% confidence interval, which means that you will know that your alpha is going to be equal to 5%, which is just equal the same thing as writing down 0.05. Okay, so now we're going to write down the formula to construct the confidence interval. So let's say we are interested to find mu for Tapa minus mu for Tanjung Malim. Okay, so this is what you are interested to find. Okay, and because this is the order is in terms of Tapa and Tanjung Malim, therefore make sure that when you write down the formula, it has to be Tapa minus the sample mean from Tanjung Malim. So the order here has to follow what you intend to look for. So here is plus minus z alpha over 2, and over here we have the variance, population variance for Tapa over the sample size for Tapa, plus population variance for Tanjung Malim over the sample size of Tanjung Malim. Okay, for Tanjung Malim. So next, what is the mean sample for Tapa? The mean sample for Tapa is 100 minus the mean sample from Tanjung Malim is this one, 80 ringgit. So plus minus z alpha over 2. So z and alpha over 2 means the value here is going to be 0.0225. And from the standard normal distribution table, I hope you'll be able to find what is the z quantile for that. But let us plug in all the values first. What is the variance for Tapa? The variance for Tapa is going to be 7 squared over sample size for Tapa is 50 plus the variance for Tanjung Malim is going to be 10 squared over 50. Okay. Next, you will get this one is 20 plus minus. Now, if you refer to the standard normal distribution table, you will see that the value for z is going to be equal to 1.96. Okay, so for this one, it's going to be 49 over 50 plus 100 over 50. And if you punch in these values into your calculator, you will get that the answer is going to be, you can write down the final answer is going to be mu Tapa minus mu Tanjung Malim is going to be between 16.62 okay and 23.38. So this is the final answer, and based on this answer you can come up with the conclusion which is this one. So this is how you can write up your conclusion. Therefore, for the 95% confidence interval, because this is what you did just now, the true difference in mean, so this is the true difference in means, is between 16 ringgit 62 cent and 22 ringgit 38 cent. Now, based on the result here, because both are the lower limit and upper limit are positive value, so you can see that the value here are both positive. Okay, therefore you can see that because of that, the mean for room rate in Tapa is always higher than the mean room rate in Tanjung Malim. Okay, so that is what can be concluded from the construction of the confidence interval here. Alright, I think that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching.